Hey guys, so I know there's a huge jump within the videos, but Nick just got done figuring something out also. It's been a month and 22 days since we got in here and started working, and that's even including other stuff we're doing at this place. And we're already this far. Reason for the huge jump though is we've been videoing and we've been following behind on doing videos because of my friend Shaden's been showing up, and we've been just going hog wild on it. We've been using a lot of scrap wood. We've bought maybe 3 pieces of wood for plywood since we started, or maybe 4, and we've been buying a bunch of framework. As you can see here, it's, like I said, we've gone nuts. So with that being said, guys, Nick will start over there. We'll show you some of the new stuff. I don't have it unboxed like I normally would just because we've been working in here. But if Nick wants to turn around, one of the BN SD60 Triclops is new. Both of them, for some reason, have a ditch light flash problem. Plus, the speakers are blowing from factory. Athearn doesn't seem to care, doesn't want to really do anything about it. I'm going to try messaging them one more time. If they don't do anything, they're automatically getting ESU and they're getting scale sound system speakers. Those will probably be the next 2 units I do if this keeps up, because I can't really run them. They sound like crap. The lights don't work, and it's all within the decoder. Because when I test the lights separate, the lights work, and when I hook them to the decoder, they just don't work. So, and Tsunami doesn't want to do anything about them either because it's an Athearn problem, they claim. So, those are 2 of the new units. And then, if Nick turns over, the 2 dark yellow Operation Lifesaver and the dark yellow Jeep 15 on top. Those are the 2 new ones. I've had the Zito Yellow 4402 that my dad got me a while back. So, and then I will do a little run by my other new unit, which is not here. I'll edit in the run by from the club of the second X-Redding CSX patch unit, Jeep 39-2. So I did get some other cars, but those are kits, RFMP hopper, 3 Milwaukee Road hoppers, and a bunch of switches for the layout. But yeah, so anyways guys, starting over here, Nick was at the workbench, which is kind of a clutter mess right now. The AC unit's going to be coming out here soon. It's starting to get cold out. It's been raining for the past 3 days. They're saying about 5 inches of water right now, and we have no water in this building, thank God. But if Nick pans over here, this is going to be the WC Stevens Point yard. We had to take a little bit of freelance and go with this just for the fact of we wanted an upper deck. So the Stevens Point depot will be over here. There's not really a curve between the yard and the depot, and the bridge will be here. But all this is where the yard will tie into. So this is not here in real life, but we're going to try to freelance mix the engine yard and make the roundhouse and all that look like the Stevens Point area. So anyways, once Nick jumps down and over here, we'll continue on. Alright guys, so over here is going to be the yard. We've got to add a crossover in here yet and finish the crossover here for the arrival departure track. These tracks here are going to be the yard, and then they'll kind of funnel around the corner and everything will connect in here and then back into the main. So main 1, main 2, arrival departure. And then over here we were talking about, and it seems like it's kind of sticking, our quick trip with the truck stop and everything will be over here is what it seems like. We're going to have the coal mine tracks here continue and end up back in where the WC hopper is sitting on the double slip crossover. And then this used to be where the gravel company was. That is coming out. I think we're going to add some coal piles and conveyor belts and stuff like that back there. But we will have one switch. Be putting in here number 8. And I believe we're just going to put a single track for 2 pusher units for anything going up the hill. They'll be used on freight, but they're mainly there for the coal drags. And then over here, same old stuff, the coal mine, more of the same stuff. We do have to replace these switches and these crossover switches. Always everything else for switches have been replaced on mains so far. We're going to continue at some point, once we get the peninsula done, go back and finish laying the track because we have enough track to finish the outside main, minus a couple crossovers. But over here, it comes back into where you'll split off to go to the lower level for hidden staging and start the yard on this side. Now, back over here, again, this is going to be my dad's area. I don't really know what he's doing. All I know is it's going to be like a backwoods shop area. So, now, we'll go ahead and talk about this since we're right here. The lower deck is about here. So if we start here, this whole area is going to be a diesel facility. This is going to be my CSX bar yard. I didn't really want it to be underneath, but we want to model the WC heavily. I love my CSX, so I really want at least some place for my CSX, so there'll be a transfer table, diesel shops, fueling, sanding. It'll all be lit up, all detailed, all scenic. Down here, we'll lose the scenery, and it's going to turn into all staging for unit trains and for the passenger trains and everything else. And then below that, as you can see, we're putting storage for trains now. But like I was saying back here, this is where the hidden staging track comes in. We're also going to throw in another switch in front of that one that goes to hidden staging. And right here, since we wanted a bigger area for the gravel company is going to go here. And then the tracks will probably start about here and come in and then flow back until right about here, because right here is where we're going to start our tunnel. And it all declines, and it's going to be hidden here. And it's going to decline. The track's actually laid and everything all underneath what will be going up to the upper deck. And it'll come out here and curve and come back. So it's a giant S-curve, but we can take articulated up and down, intermodal cars, all that. And then in the middle here, if we can make it work, we might end up getting a lower chair or something. But my brother's fully in charge of this. I told him that tonight, so we'll see what he comes up with. But this is going to be the dispatcher's office. So if we want to have operating sessions, which a bunch of our buddies want to, hopefully 2 to 3 screens will be in here. So you can see what's going on in the bar yard engine facility and what's coming in and out of the hidden staging. So we'll have a camera back here and a camera up there so you can see the passenger trains coming and going. So you know where those are and where they are down here. So we don't have a train coming into the solid unit train area and ramming into a passenger train. But, so yeah, hopefully he'll design this. We got a computer that we might be able to get for free from my mom that will run the ATCS panel board for JMRI and stuff. As soon as we get the okay from her, we're going to end up wiring it in here and getting it all buttoned up. That way, once the layout is running, then we'll pay for getting internet out here if we need to, which I'm sure we're going to. And that way, this whole thing has signaling and dispatcher. So, but anyways, guys, enough about the lower level and the dispatch area. If Nick comes back over to here, behind the train that you've seen in the beginning of the video, this is going up to the upper level. This is where we're going to need shovers for coal drags. We're using live coal loads, so I'm sure she's going to get pretty heavy. But if you follow it up here, we're going to have a industry back here. I want to call it Quad Graphics. It's not going to be exactly like Quad, but I'm probably going to have a track for boxcars and one track for a tank car and a hopper. And then if you come up this way, it's all single track all the way up. And once you get to right out here, this is where it's going to turn into the temporary section. So from here all the way to right here is going to be one massive bridge. I'm going to build it on a piece of masonite or a piece of hardboard that's maybe 1/2 inch thick or something. I got to figure something out with that. But I'm going to make it so it picks up all in one chunk. And it's going to be a steel girder bridge. And we can pick it on and off the layout that way. If we ever have to move this, like we had to move the last one and turn it into this at this new place, it easily moves out. Otherwise, this is going to be a pain because it comes across one table here, which would actually be a bridge. And then the bridge originally would have come up to here. But then you have all this, you got to build a tunnel, and you got 3 tables here that you got to mess with. Where if we just build one whole bridge that comes all the way across, 1, it looks cool. 2, it removes real easy, and we don't have to fight with any of that. Anyways, it'll come up here. This is where we stopped tonight. Shaden's got school yet, he's still in high school and everything. So this is pretty much where we stopped. The table joint is here, and then the whole dispatcher panel and stuff is separate, and this will come off. But this is code 100 here, and then it comes into Walter's transition rail. So it goes code 100 to code 83, and right there is actually going to be a small piece of track, and then it's going to turn into my dad's trestle that he bought that we're going to incorporate into the other layout. And when I got this one, the bridge right behind Nick here is the other one that came with it that I started building. So what's kind of cool is this is a Pine River, and it's literally right across from where we're putting another bridge. So technically this all flows as one, which is pretty cool because we're going to have another bridge back here, and it's going to come up to the centerpiece, which that's what this board here is for. And all up here on the top of the hill and everything is going to be the lumber mill. And we're actually going to have the pulpwood staging back here, so you're going to have to pull up and everything. You're going to have the wood chip loadout up here, which I actually am thinking about having curve and then dead end so they can push cars through. And then there'll also be a spot for I-beams up here as well. And it's just going to be a really neat switching area. And I plan on having the little log train that I made out of a brass engine that I picked up in some old Roundhouse kits that will actually run all the way up, drop logs, and run empties all the way back down. But that's just another thing that we're planning on adding. I'm probably going to have a separate spot where it picks up, not sure yet, but also this area, which comes off here, which is probably why you're wondering what's the deal with this. So the main actually curves this way and will come out on this track, and it'll keep climbing and coming around here. This is all separate. So this will keep climbing and it's going to shoot over, hence why the tunnel starts here. You know, coming over, and then it's going to come up And I'll shoot over the top, which is where we're probably going to have like a rock face or even a tunnel. I was kind of hoping for a small tunnel right there just to split the scene. Everybody keeps telling me leave it as a huge wide corner, but I'd kind of like to have the tunnel. And then it'll hide the support that'll hold this up. And the Y will be here. So you'll have one piece come in right here, and you'll have one go over there. That way we can run trains or Y trains up there and bring them back down the hill. There's also going to be hopefully enough room for a siding that'll run here, and the track's actually going to be on this side of the board, not on this side. That way there's more room over there, and we can bring the ore cars up here, pull them into that siding, because this is going to end up being the ore loadout for LS&I. So we'll pull the ore cars in 25 car strings up, drop them in the siding. LS&I will end up coming out, dragging them back, and then shoving 25 to 26 cars depending on how we can fit them in here. So there'll be 2 loader tracks, and then this outer track here will house 4 engines, 2 AC 4400s with LS&I patch in leaser scheme, and 2 BNs with LS&I patch, and those are coming from Rapido. And when that shows up, I'll show you how to do the whole entire patch job and weathering on them. But so yeah, coming up here, like I said, we'll have the siding. It'll Y. Behind Nick is where the entire paper mill is going to go, and the coal unloader. And then above my dad's area on this end is going to be Wisconsin Southern's shops, just a small little shop over there. And then up here, next to the main line and stuff, is going to be Pickett Co-op here in Wisconsin. And around the corner, it's all going to be single track. We have no clue right now what we really want to do over here or over here. All we know is there's a couple things we'd like to do, industrial switching and all that, and we want an intermodal yard somewhere. We also want to do Artie and Ed's from here in Wisconsin, which is actually in Oshkosh, so you've probably seen it in a couple of my videos. I know it's in the Wisconsin Central 2001 Chase video. But we would like to put that somewhere up here. And then Wisconsin, we have a street called Division Street here in Wisconsin, and Oshkosh used to have the WC tracks run right through there. That is no longer, that is all gone. I'd like to do Division Street somewhere here, because literally the track is right in the people's front yard. But we're also going to have another incline back here with a small little tiny yard, definitely going to be over here. It's going to be 2 or 3 tracks wide, including the main, and it's only going to be 25 cars deep. And that way we have a spot to drop the ore cars, and then we can shove them up the hill. And then we're going to have a double crossover on the hill. And also, before it splits off into the 2 track, we're finally going to use the lift bridge, and the lift bridge is actually going to work. We're actually going to put a motor on it and a light, so when it's in the up position, it lights up, because we plan on doing night ops. But it'll split off into 2 track, like I said, after that, and it'll go into a double crossover, and then into the bridge, and then into the ore dock, and the ore dock's going to hold 100 cars. So that's 4 kits put together, 4 track ore dock, 2 deep. They'll easily hold 100 to 104, depending on how we put them on there. I do have the DMIR crane coming for that as well. And then we're going to have a little car ferry and an actual dock below it, and the ore boat, which will be kind of neat. So there will be enough room for all that. And then we'll have the DMIR power sitting up here at the little engine shop that I plan on having and stuff. But minus the small little yard, this whole area is open, that whole area is open, and we got a lot of buildings and a lot of things to add. So, but with that said, guys, I know it's a long video, but kind of jumped on you and made a whole hell of a lot of progress. So, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later.